porcupine today. So how are you guys doing? We are making a Greek pie. Now they want you to grease a 9 by 13. I am not doing a 9 by 13. I am going to do a 9-inch deep dish of water. Now, they also say that they want polio dough, you know, this really thin one. So I'm not using that either because, like I told you, it has a gum flavor, so I'm not prone to using it. I won't use it because I don't like the gum taste in my food. Now, as you get healthier, you will notice your taste buds get extremely sensitive and you'll be able to start tasting things much better. As you get older, if you keep having the same thing, it's like your taste buds get null and void. You know in your head what it tastes like, but you don't taste the flavor like you used to. So if you want to taste all these beautiful flavors for the rest of your life, you sit there and stay healthy. And a lot of B vitamins actually go for your taste buds, believe it or not. So if your taste buds are dull, you understand why. Now we need, they state, a half a cup of a yellow onion chopped, which I'm doing right now. And good morning, everybody. You seem you haven't gotten up yet. Believe me, I haven't been up much myself either. And you can hear it in my voice. I am tired. I only got 30 minutes in yesterday crocheting that bedspread, so I know that's going to take me probably till the end of the year, you know. Every time I think I'm moving forward, I have other stuff to do. Yes, put your onions in a bowl. Good morning, Ariel. Haven't heard from you in a while. We are making a Greek pie, and I'm thinking about making patties to go with it today. Hi, Landon. Oh, you sent me a clock? I guess you're telling me it's too early. Okay. I know, I haven't had anything yet. I just had a glass of water, and I said, let me get this done because I got work to do today. So I wanted something simple to make. But if I'm extra slow, just understand this girl is just getting up. She doesn't have her bearings yet. Yeah, I'm still working on that too. Thank you, Landon. Sawyer, how are you? Yes, I do remember you guys. I'm starting to learn everybody slowly, but I'm getting there. I hope you all had a wonderful evening. Oh, God. Do be careful doing this. Now, to keep your vegetables or fruit that you're slicing, put your thumb in the back to hold it. Then, okay, thank you. Adeline, good morning. Oh, God, I am sore. I am so sore. Just everything I was doing yesterday in that dining room. I said, God. I was even doing the floors, waxing them. I mean, this floor here needs cleaning. Yeah. Hi, Trinity. A body. Hi, Griffin. My name is Sandra, but everybody calls me Sandy. My body's I know every spring my body talks to me, like in autumn. And I'm getting blankets and stuff together that have to go to the dry cleaners and stuff. So it's a lot. And then on top of that, I donate to the VBA. I mean, if you have old clothes and stuff you want to get rid of, they will take it, which is good. A Greek pie. That's the name of it. Trinity. Thank you, Landon, for the flower. No, I'm tired. Yeah, that's my name. Thank you, Adeline. Good morning, General. Let's see, what do I have to do next? Okay, you need 3 packages. They say 10 ounce each. Mine were 12, so I'm going to be using more spinach. 3 packages of frozen chopped spinach. And they want you to squeeze it dry. And so that's what I'm doing. I want you to squeeze as much water out of it as you can once it defrosts. So I got the spinach out last night and said it can sit there. I mean, I did a video, just to tell you what's coming up. And I said, God, I'm exhausted. I'm not even done yet. Okay, this spinach has to be dry for this pie. I don't see them all, but I am getting them. Yeah, I saw, and I thank you very much, Landon. Not now, I'm not, but I do have a lot of pancake ideas. You just take a basic idea and then just run with it, you know. I'm thinking about making semolina, what are they? English muffins. For a minute, I just went dead in my head. I still have some gizzards in there that I want to mix with, I think, a chutney, and make little pies out of them and dress them up, because chutney is very, very sweet. And that's a good way of getting protein in it as for a snack when your family comes in. If you do the gizzards right, nobody will know. Thank you, Landon. You sent me a sunshine. Thank you. A patent? Yeah, patent. No muffins. They would be little pies, you know. So I'm thinking about doing that. But like I said, I got this kitchen sitting in front of me. I've got the yard in front of me. I've got the laundry room in front of me. Yeah, I still have to do. I'm still squeezing fluid out of this. So they want 3 packages, remember that. So I'm going to make biscuits. I'm going to divide dough in half, put half on the bottom, and then sit there, instead of their polio that tastes like gum, put this in it, and then put the other half on top. And I think it'll come out nice. I don't think there's any more. Yeah, there's still more liquid in it. Yeah, you can take gizzards or liver and do it. That's how mincemeat pies were made at one time, to get the organs and cook them and preserve them. I am squeezing out spinach, frozen spinach, okay? That's all I'm doing right here, but you are going to see what I'm doing. I'm just squeezing the spinach out. You want as much fluid out as you can get, or your pie is going to be really moist. We're having a Greek pie. Okay. See, that's what I've been doing, squeezing it out. Now we've chopped an onion. We'll go ahead and get the oil and stuff and get this stuff going soon. You need, they say, a large frying pan, and you need 1 tablespoon of oil in it. Okay. And by the way, you don't have to panic. We're only prepping right now. That's all we're doing. Okay. Yeah, that's about a tablespoon. Okay. We got the onions done. They're in a bowl. We're going to get another bowl, and we're going to add more stuff together. Okay. In this bowl, we need 3 large eggs. You're welcome, Anthony. Genevieve, Viva, good morning. Landon, good morning. Okay, thank you, Landon. When I'm in front, I'll see it, but if I'm working, I will miss it, and I just read on the bottom what you've done. Sent. Because I can't keep looking at the phone, or we won't get this done. Oh, come on. Okay, now we're going to add, yeah, we're going to beat them. They want a cup of feta cheese. Do they have you dividing the trash like they have us in New York? Divide your trash. Do this, do that, or you get a $500 fine. I mean, I know you're not supposed to use your knife. I know I'm bad. We're making a Greek pie. Yeah. They have me separating the trash. I think this should cover a cup. If it doesn't, we're going to be a little shy on it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What am I, about a tablespoon off of that? I wasn't going to buy 2. All right, next they want 1 cup of cottage cheese. Well, when I learned to make this, I did not have time to make it. I didn't even have the milk to make this. With cleaning it, so I bought it. But you know 90% of the time I'm going to make it. But this time I didn't. Now just think, I've showed you how to make cottage cheese, right? And it's dry when you make it after it sits overnight. And if you want to get it creamy like this, do you know how much heavy cream you have to pour in? So that little bit of cottage cheese you see makes one amount. Well, they keep on adding that cream to it. So it builds up to a really big, and then so you don't really have that many kernels in here as you think. So because I mix fruit and stuff with mine, I keep mine more on the dry side. And if you leave it long enough, it will dry. Okay. Put that in with the eggs as well and the feta cheese. I don't know why she wants a 9 by 13, unless the things take a lot of space up. Don't have any more 1 cup anything. All right, they want 1/4 of a cup of chopped parsley. What's going to have time you want to chop it. Okay. We are all doing well. Nito, Captain, good morning. Good morning, Nito. David, Emily, my boss. Okay. I was always in school. My summer was school. I was home. I was learning. No, I was always learning. I think I was taught to shut up, and I listened to my elders, and you learn. The simple things is learning how to walk properly, how to sit there and put, during summer I went to cosmetology. I learned how to care for my hair. I didn't like that department very well, learning, I should say. Every summer I was learning something. I was also in going to the store, learning how to sew, making my own clothes, learning to cook, all the things young ladies were supposed to learn. And that's what I did. If I got my chores done and learned everything and I had time, yes, but most of the summer I was still working. As a little girl, I got to play, but as I got older, I had less and less time. As a teenager, there was always something to learn and everything else. A lot of people played. I did have time to play, but I didn't have a lot of friends, so I was more isolated. I wasn't running with a group of girls or anything, you know, where they'd go and do things. My mother kept me close to her. Okay, I think that's all the chopping I have to do. All right, we need a tablespoon of dried dill. I need a measuring cup. They don't want the seeds, they want the weed. Ellis, Emily, Matthew, Jose. Oh shoot, I just missed somebody. Jim, good morning. Well, it's getting warmer. Have to say, Matthew, it is getting warmer because last time you said it was what, 20 below or something, 40? It was down, it was low. So they want the green dill, not the seeds. Okay. And they want a teaspoon of salt. I wouldn't use my salt mixture on this because of what's in it. I'm only going to, and you know what it actually sounds like? It's sounding a lot like the spinach quiche, but it's not. Just telling you what it's starting to sound like. All right. It is sounding a lot like a quiche. How much? Oh, just add pepper to taste. Now see, that's not a lot, so why would I want to put that in a 9 by 13? That doesn't even make sense. That's not enough to put in a 9 by 13, even with the spinach. But she must have small pie plates. That's why she put 9 by 13. I found that deep dish apple pie plate. Man, bought 2 of them. I should have bought 2 of the others as well, because I broke my 9 by 13. I was doing dishes, it slipped out of my hand. Instead of reaching for it, I learned to pick my hands up, because that's where I almost cut my thumb off. And Emily. Good morning. No, I'm not a party person. I'm more of a church person. Don't get me started on that, Emily. Because I think they all should go to the shed and get their ass whipped. Male and female. And those girls, what they do is unbelievable. If I did anything like them, I know what my mother would call me. I know what the town would call me. And I know what the boys would think of me. I would be called a whore. And they're acting like a whore. And then when they think they get older, they want you to treat them like a lady. I just think that's wrong. Just wrong all the way around. And aborting these children, oh my God, they're going to destroy this country. You don't need outside forces. The women are doing it a very good job of it too. Okay. They want us to mix this thoroughly. This is almost like a spinach pie, to be honest with you. She's using different cheeses, okay? But some of this I recognize. When you make enough quiches, you learn. Okay, we got this mixed. That's exactly what they wanted us to do. Now we need a frying pan. I'm going to move you and pray I don't drop you to the floor again. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Matthew. Yes. Yes, that's how I was raised. I know people get angry about it. The only thing I was against was the Vietnam War. And to this day, I don't think our soldiers should be overseas or anywhere else. I think they should be home. This is our land. They're supposed to protect us. And they are, you know, the ones that would be up in the front line. Europe, let them take care of themselves. And the way everybody seems so ungrateful for helping to end that war. Maybe we should have, after we won the war, we should have just walked away and let them build themselves back up. And that sounds cruel. You know, but when you help somebody, you should, you know, be respectful, at least say thank you or something, or pay your bills at least. I mean, if I don't pay my bills, I'm in trouble. So that's just a tablespoon of oil. We're going to be sauteing the onion. And then we're going to get into, and my side's getting full. Okay. We're actually going to do the onion and the spinach in here. Oh, just get another spoon, Sandra. Yeah, if I said anything or gave a look, a side glance, man, my head would be spinning. Yeah, I told my sons I thought about going back to Texas. I understand Texas. I don't understand it up here. See, in a small town where I grew up, Beeville, if something went wrong, I knew the plumber. Because my mother knew the plumber. You know, it was a family business, the electrician, the contractor. We knew who everybody was. I come here, and my husband knew his father, so he would call them, and we'd get things done. But they died off. My husband died off. And it's difficult to find somebody to do something, you know. Everything is so cold and cut. You just don't know anybody. It makes me miss home a lot. Well, they weren't in my crowd. Like I said, I didn't go with the crowd. I did try marijuana, I'm not going to lie. But I found I enjoy life and being sober, I guess if you want to say it that way. I tried drinking. Of course, every teenager's going to try drinking. They're going to try marijuana. And I understand that. I went through mine. I got scared. I literally got scared with a horrifying experience. And I walked away from all that, and I ran back to the one person who I know loves me unconditionally, and that was God. Okay, Casey. Thank you, Emily. Girl, I get Greek pie, and I'm thinking about making just meat patties with it for the protein. Oh, set your oven at 350. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that we have to set the oven at 350. So when I'm done fixing all this filling, I'm going to go and make the biscuits, and because I'm not using the polio. If you want to use polio, they want to lay 8 sheets on the bottom and 8 sheets on top. I am not using polio. I'm just not going to. No way. And if you want to know what pans I use All-Clad and Cuisinart. This is equipment that I will recommend each and every time. The only other one I would recommend at this point is cast iron. No, we're sautéing them. Thank you, Phantom. Ulysses. Tache. Yeah. You want a good pan, cast iron, that's it. This is like a spinach pie. I'm looking at it, I said, this is like a spinach pie. Just done a little different. But everybody does it a little different. Like I said yesterday, I'm going to be making fish cakes, and they're done different than what we know. So that'll be very interesting. Okay, how long do you want me to cook this on this? A few minutes mixing this up, and then we're done with this, and then we're going to go make those biscuits and get it going. And because they're using butter to brush the polio, I am going to make butter biscuits, so it'll be good. Okay, here it is. It's right there, you see it? Okay. This is done. Push it to the side. Yes, I have. I've fed everybody so far. I am the last one to eat. Okay? Seems everybody else gets fed. I need to get my biscuit recipe. It's just a basic recipe. I don't want to make an elaborate biscuit. Believe you me, I have a lot of recipes to do. I'm just going to make a very basic. And you say, can't you remember them? No, I never remember them. You think I would as much as but I make so many different ones. Okay. Well, come on, you're not that far in if I remember. It's quick breads. Ah, here we are. Oh, I like that. No, I don't like your dumplings. They're not my favorite. Okay. I know all the do's and don'ts. I don't need you to tell me that. I just need a ratio. Okay. 2 cups. Okay. I am going to get so messed up. Did you enjoy the warm weather? Anthony, okay. Hi, Ulysses. Amori? Oh, that bread. Oh my God, it was so good. Those crescent rolls. I think I only have 1 crescent roll left. Let's see. Do I have 1 crescent roll left to show you? Nope. They're gone. Sorry, the crescent roll is gone. Somebody snuck onto it. The sourdough is so good. Hi, Fun. I'm doing well. You gonna tell me I don't have enough flour? Jesus. Might have to leave you for 2 minutes because I have to go get more. Let's see if I can get, I'm going to try to wiggle it out of here. Might have to leave you just to go get some more flour out of, up in the pantry. I am cutting this close. Dang. Okay, that's it. We'll put some whole wheat with this. Okay, we'll do it this way. I'm missing about a tablespoon or 2. That's why you're seeing me do it this way. Okay. I used whole wheat flour. What can I say? I don't mind using whole wheat. I'm very accustomed to it. We use it all the time. It's just part of everything because it keeps the B vitamins going. And like I said, your taste buds need B vitamins. If you don't have really good taste buds, you're not going to be able to taste. Tablespoon of baking powder. I like the rich biscuits. I don't like the other ones. That's why I do it. All right. And we need a teaspoon of salt. Let's see, if that's using that salt, I'm going to use this one instead. Because that'll be too salty with everything added in it. So we'll go this direction. We're going to need 6 tablespoons of butter. Still hard. Okay. Excuse me. Are all of you having coffee right now? Oh, yes. Tess, hey, yes. Today, a Greek pie. I'm doing, well, fun, amore, good morning. Okay, this is slightly warm, so we're going to try to get it. It's not as hard as I like it, but I can work with it. See, some of the things that got me started mixing up my flours and stuff was with, in the Betty Crocker cookbook, the old one. Was when they said make whole wheat biscuits, they say take a half a cup of whole wheat flour in place of a half a cup of the white flour. And I said, oh, if I could do that. And then I ran with it. You can do anything, Tashay, that you want. All what you need is somebody to show you. Yeah, that's what some people say. But chefs will tell you butter that's frozen gives you a much better flaky crust, believe it or not. Because if it's soft and not frozen, you'll notice when you handle it, it melts. That's where you don't get the flakiness. You, Skelly. Good morning, 434. That is getting the flakiness. My butter's always in the freezer. And I don't serve butter at the table when I have biscuits or something. I mean, if we have a baked potato, you might see it on the table, but yeah, for the layers that you're looking for. That beautiful flakiness that you want. I've got one that they want to say, guaranteed flaky biscuits. I'm looking at it, I said, do you know what you really are asking me to do? That's like, you know, there's just some things I look and I said, you know, I'm going to have to throw everybody out of the house when I do this. Because they'll come and say, how's it going, Mommy? Then I'll say, shut up and leave me alone. Okay. All right, I don't need any more 2/3. My book. Okay. Two-thirds. I'll have to use this. I know they told you that you're going to add buttermilk or milk correct? Well, I have a lot of discard here. So I'm going to use discard. Greek pie. Copper? Must be an orange cat, right, Matthew? Okay, Valentina. You made it. Good morning, Tom. Valentina, good morning. All right. Now, when I use my discard, I might have to add more liquid. So understand, because it's thicker, it's harder to get it to mix up. Sometimes I have to add a whole cup to get what I'm looking for. And I have to work it in, but don't worry. Discard will rise just as much. So I know it says 2/3 cup milk, but discard is thicker, so you have to compensate for that thickness. I've got just about a cup here of my discard. This comes from my sourdough cultures. I get too much of it if I don't cook. I made Ezekiel bread. We haven't gotten to it because I made a lot of bread. You practically need this and it will rise up beautifully. I should know, I've already done it. I told you I'm going to add more. This gives a slight sourness with the butter. Most people use buttermilk. I remember at one time, women had to make their own cultures. They didn't run to the store. And since I'm having such a trouble getting yeast, I'm just going to convert, I think, everything into a sourdough. And you're going to say, but they're not going to be tender. They will be, believe it or not. Good morning, Jethro. Good morning. Tashay. Sherry, good morning. Left, good morning. Okay, we're going to need some more. Okay. Show you, this is a lot. Yeah, it is. But remember, the culture is much thicker than milk. And I'm going to knead this. And you're going to say, you can't do that, the biscuits? Yeah, don't worry. I learned one thing with sourdough culture. Beat the tar out of it. Hi, Left. KP. Okay. Years. Who said that? Tashay, 7, 8 years. Sherry, good morning. Don't worry, I'll work all this in. You're going to sit there and say, that's not going to go. Yeah, because I'm handling it. That butter will melt some. And then I'll make part of it into a biscuit. You can actually smell the culture on it. First time I did, I said, oh God, I think these biscuits are going to taste horrible. And they came out flaky. I said, God, it worked. So when I use my discard, I can work it in. Oh, that's on the floor. Okay. I know I haven't shown you muffins with discard because I was doing those other flavors, showing you other things which you can and cannot do. And I think I have a loganberry I found, and I said, I wonder how that would go. Yeah, I'm going there. Hi, Licky. Blondie. Okay. We're getting it. Sandra, you are making a mess, girl. All right, so this is about 9 inches. Take part of this one, cut it out, or roll it out. We'll see. Bottom I want. Oh, a little less than 8. Okay, so if it's a little less than 8, we don't have to take as much of this as I thought. We'll have a thicker one on top and on the bottom. Well, I think I'm going to need a little more. Talking to myself. Oh, they're going to turn out. Don't worry. I've already done this before. I know. I have already done this. Because they wanted the polio, you know, those polio things. I tried them one time and said, oh my God, I'll never use those again. I used to have a recipe how to make those polio sheets. Took a lot of butter. I'm sure they don't use butter because I can't taste the butter. Okay. I'm glad. Good morning, Pretty. Where have you been? Haven't seen you. You're late. You're late. You're late. You're late. Remember that? No, you would. Only a girl would know that. I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. Alice in Wonderland. So remember, I'm not making it the way they say, but this is actually a spinach pie. It's really coming across as a spinach pie, just done a little different. You could also press this in if you want. That's the only problem with this sourdough is you really have to work it. It doesn't want to go easily. Okay. Okay. Some because we've got to mix this up together. We're making a Greek pie, and I'm not using the polio strips. I'm using a biscuit batter, which is like a crust. Well, I can see why she wants a 9 by 13 now, but I'm still not doing a 9 by 13. I make 2 of these. I don't care. Okay. So we're mixing the cheese and spinach mixture up. And then we're going to pack it in. It does smell good. I'm not going to lie to you. It does. Yeah, that's why I said I've got to make this. You know, it smells really good with the feta cheese and the cottage cheese and the dill with the spinach is an unusual combination, but the basic structure of this is actually, you know, a spinach pie. So I don't know how it's going to come out, but we'll find out. Now you're going to put all of this into your pie. Remember, I don't know if this is going to work with the biscuit recipe. Maybe I should have made a pie crust, but I think it should. If it doesn't, I've messed up dinner. What time is it? It's 5:54. Pretty Cat, you keep on, no, I mean, Tasha, you keep on saying it's biscuits and gravy. No. Good morning, Pretty Cat. Those? Oh, heck no. We don't call them garbage cans in the house. We call them trash cans. Yeah, good morning. You forgot to say good morning, Pretty Cat. So I don't know if the biscuit's going to turn out. Maybe I should have used a pie crust, but I did not make a pie crust yesterday. I told you I was running late, but I wanted to give you guys some ideas of what's coming up. I'm going to roll you out thinner this time. It will cover more ground. I think it's 9 inches it's got to be. Not 10 inch. I know, I could almost hear somebody say, you sure you want a biscuit recipe for this? I don't know. We're going to find out. I didn't want to make a pie crust yesterday. I was just too tired. I was thinking about this. And I said, why not? I'm running out of flour. I gotta go find it. Okay. Yes, I am rolling this quite thin for a biscuit recipe, but biscuits and pastry aren't that far off from their own ratios, if you must know the truth. They really aren't once you have the basics down. It's just a few things that change. Okay, do I have enough? Yeah, I got a lot here. Okay. At least if nothing else, it smells good. I'm just going to bring this over the top of it. Let's see how I want to do this. Thinking. I know you're probably going to say, you're going to cut yourself. Believe you me, women have been doing this for years. Just cut you be better. Well, they want this thing to cook for a while. I'm just wondering if it's going to spill over, but there isn't a lot of liquid in it, if you notice when we did it. So I'm thinking about just turning it in and praying that it doesn't. You're going to have to vent this. If you don't vent this, you're going to have a problem. So I'm going to warn you right now. Even if you use the polio sheets, they say you should get 2 people to help you to make sure that you do it right. So I'm saying, yeah, right. I'm going to go wake my sons up to help me, right. So this might spill over, I'm not sure. I'm thinking it might because of some of the readings, what I'm reading on it. Let's see if that works. Want vents. All right, I'm going to set something underneath this because I really don't want to. I think the vents should work. All right, we're going to find out if I'm going to have a mess in my stove and smoking. Maybe I could put it down one shelf. Let's see if that works better. Okay. Is there anything I'm supposed to brush on top of this before I do this? All right. They want you to brush it with butter. So I have to get some butter now. We'll see if it comes out. That's one thing I can tell you. That will give the butter time to melt, and that'll be it. And I'm still getting dirty. What the heck? Never mind staying clean. Mehmet. No, I'm cooking, Brian. So we're just waiting now for the butter. And then we'll brush it and get it in the oven. I put the broiler pan underneath because I don't know if it's going to spill. If it spills, I'm going to have smoke in the kitchen. This early, somebody sees it, I swear, they'll probably call. She's got a fire. No, I'm just cooking. Now, you don't have to melt your butter all the way. When you've got enough of it melted, you can sit there and take it off, and the butter is so hot, it'll melt the rest of it. So you don't have to go as far in melting it. Okay. No, I got rid of smoke alarms. I hate those things with a passion. And the kitchen is a hot place, so it's automatically going to register that there's a fire, you know, or a fire is getting started. So you really just can't trust those in the kitchen, and that's where they put it because that's where most fires start. That's why I taught my sons, you do not leave that kitchen. Do you hear me? When you're cooking, I said, I have an alarm in my head, but I've had many years developing that alarm. Like I told them, I almost burnt the house down because I walked out of the kitchen thinking I was I knew what I was doing. Well, this little girl messed up severely and her mother wanted to kill her. So I tell them, don't leave the kitchen. And I mean it. I throw them out. I'll tell them to get out of the kitchen if they don't stay in the kitchen. But they said, but you're there. I thought you. I said, I'm not always going to be here. Don't assume I'm going to be in the kitchen. If you're doing something in the kitchen, you take care of your business. You don't look to me to take care of yours. That's not my place. Find out how this comes out. It's either going to be a flop or it's going to be good. I know I got the stuffing, what you call the filling, right. It's just taking biscuits in place of that. Okay. We're going to see. Now comes, should I or shouldn't I? Okay. Oh, I used to be in an apartment with those alarms. They went off every day. As soon as I walked in the kitchen, I think it knew me. All right, 20, 25 minutes? No, 40. All right, 40 minutes to cook that. I'm sure those biscuits will be quite done by then. Okay, I don't need any more of this. So that out. Putting some stuff away. Meat patties, okay. I have ground pork and beef. I have lean beef, it's 93.7, and you know pork is fat, so I don't have to explain that. That's going to be a 50-50. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm actually right here. You're looking how she knows what she's doing. No, I have no idea what I'm doing today. I'm going to add Worcestershire sauce or steak sauce to it. I know I'm going to put salt and pepper in it, but flavorings I'm just sort of like null and void. I can't even remember. I couldn't even find the recipe yesterday. I said I had a recipe for today. I'm drying some pepper up. Hinges. If you're talking about arthritis, I don't have arthritis. What I have is sore muscles from all the scrubbing. So that's what I'm going through right now. With all the lifting and moving everything, I am just worn out. And I know how I'm going to feel when I finish doing this kitchen. Thank you. That's how I was taught to sneeze, not at you. My mother said, "Who? Ladies don't sneeze like that." So we had to learn to go, you know, because they said it's the ugliest thing is to see a woman or somebody sneeze that hard. Adding some salt. I don't know how much, you know. had to learn how to walk. There's a special way ladies are supposed to get dressed in layers and how you do it. And like I said, I learned about makeup. I learned about painting my nails, which I hate. Though I have done it because my husband wanted me to add more color to me. And so I did for him. Everything I learned about hair, I said, I am not sleeping in those, you know, the curl. Older women will know this. The curlers with those bristles. That's what my mother did in my hair. And she liked going to the beauty parlor with hairspray. Shh. I mean, I hated the smell of the hairspray. I just don't like that stuff in my hair. And it's not because I'm gray. It's just that I've always been that way. Don't put stuff in my hair, and don't tell me. My mother made me sleep with curlers. I could not wait till my hair got really, really long, and then I didn't need it anymore. Because I remember going to the boutique, and I had to get completely undressed. I mean, everything came off, and then I had to be taught how to put everything on properly. That's how I am. Hi, Lynette, Linda. Good morning to all of you. I had to learn all that. I spent a lot of time in school. Let's add a good tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Why not? We know it's going to be good because it's Worcestershire sauce. And we do have pork in here, as well as beef. Okay, guys, I'm going to go get the egg and the wheat germ, and I want you to think of what seasoning should we put in these meat patties. They're on. Oh, let's see. Good morning, V. Now, about a fourth of a cup. Just onion flakes, Linda? You think that's enough? I'll go get them. And we'll see how they come out. See, you can't help. Okay, let's see. Are you telling me I'm out of onion flakes? Okay. How did I get? I just had onion flakes here. Dang it. Well, sons, it's nice you didn't tell me you were out of onion flakes when you were cooking. Okay. I do not have onion flakes. My sons did not tell me. It did not go on. It's going on the shopping list today. I have onion powder, so I'm going to use onion powder. Garlic and onion powder. Okay. I think I have garlic flakes. We'll see how this comes out. If it doesn't come out well, I'm going to tell them it's your fault, guys. Let me get the garlic flakes. I don't have onion flakes. I'll use onion flakes. I mean garlic. Don't tell me they took that one too. Minced garlic. Okay, we'll mix it up and see what it smells like. All right, we'll see how it comes out. Remember, I added wheat germ also and an egg into this as well. Make patties out of this. We also have steak sauce in here. No, don't worry. I won't. We're always experimenting in this house. Only a couple of meals have been so bad when we were trying to dress the dish up. We weren't sure about the dish, but we did a couple of dishes just by the recipe, and it was so bad. My husband and I threw it out. And we played with it to get it to work. Now, what the wheat germ does is actually hold moisture in these. I've already added the salt and pepper. Hi, Anthony, and good morning. So, we're going to add some more onion and garlic. Not too much garlic because it's really coming through. It's killing the onion. Definitely more Worcestershire sauce. We're going to eat, right? I'm going to add some more wheat germ. Some people do use oats. I have so many sourdough breads and stuff. I use whatever bread I have in the house. Now that's wheat germ I'm adding. Hi, Anthony. Yeah, I use wheat germ for the B vitamins. See, a lot of your B vitamins help your taste buds get more developed, and that's what you want. I'll use a nose stick on this so I can stick the patties in. I'm going to make these patties extra large, like a steak, Salisbury steak. Because I have 2 pounds of meat. That's about 125, a little over 125 per pound. So we're talking about 250 grams just on the meat here, this meat. So you can see how much it is. Achy, AJ, but I'm getting around. It's just because I've been cleaning. So if we make big ones, they're like a big steak, right? So we'll put them into a bigger frying pan, a nose stick that I have. I don't know the company I got this nose stick from. Because most of the pans I use, like I said, are All Clad and Cuisinart. That was the company my husband got all these pans for me. I didn't have to ask him. He just saw how I struggled, and he took care of the problem. That was him. Thank you, Z. Harry. Thank you, Harry. AJ, I haven't had any. Got my espresso pot over there. I should make myself some espresso coffee this morning. These are going to be big. I'm not lying. Thank you, AJ. I saw that one. Cornhusk, yeah. Well, I drink chicory root. It has more of a root flavor to it, but I like the flavor of it better than coffee. Okay? Oh, those are my sons, definitely, because they eat more than I do. I'll take the smaller ones. So I'll probably make coffee as I cook these. I'll start getting my coffee together for me this morning. Now tomorrow morning it's going to be, today's Thursday, right? Tomorrow morning it's going to be Friday, so I'm going to have to run out of the house. Cornhusk, actually you guys picked it out today. It's salt and pepper with garlic and onion powder, and I also use some wheat germ and an egg in it. Mehmet, Android coming, Carney, okay. This is gonna be a small little patty. This will probably be something I'll snack on while I'm working, knowing me. So that's what I do. I eat and work at the same time. Okay, those are nice and big. They cannot complain. If they complain, I'm going to tell them to drop dead. Why couldn't I use that frying pan again? What I have to do is rinse it out. Yeah, it's big enough. And I don't want to deal with it. Okay. Because it's a nose stick, just put a light coating on it and use your hand to work it around. Because they always say you have to make sure there's oil in your nose sticks. I know that I've been seeing this new nose stick they have, but every nose stick I have used does not last long. That's why I'm glad my husband got Cuisinart, but I have some recipes that say you have to have a nose stick. So I buy a nose stick because they tell me to. But everything I get and have, if it's going to be pans to work with, are usually Cuisinart or all clad, unless they don't have what I need from another company. This pan hot. I already oiled it. You can see it. It's sitting in there. So we'll add these and see how they come out. Yeah, I know, Linda. Good morning, Judy. Coffee pot. if you have an acid stomach or a caffeine problem, you can use Tecino coffee. It won't pick up the acid because coffee does cause an acidity into your stomach as well as high blood pressure. Yeah, I just had this. I know what you're talking about, Linda. Good morning, Heather. Zero. Oh, yeah, I love cast iron, man. Could you imagine if somebody broke into a woman's home and she had cast iron? She could do some real damage with that and smack somebody around. I'm very well aware of cast iron. Rolling pins as well. See, women can be vicious. You hurt them or their children, they come out with those things, you better run because she's going to hit you hard. I'm not going to reach over that. That thing is hot now. So you see a little over 250 grams of protein right there. And don't forget, I've added an egg to it and wheat germ, which picks that protein up even higher. I'm just going to let this cook. Do what they have to do. And then that's going to be it because I've got my starch already in the pie, which is the crust. So you really don't need to add a starch. I've got my protein here, and I have my vegetables that are in that pie, which is the onion and the spinach. So see how it works? You've got everything you need in a simple dish. You don't need to add more starches than necessary because starches will constipate you. And that's not really something that you want. I don't go to thrift stores. Okay, Heather, what grade are you in? I'm making some, what you call Salisbury steaks, very simple. Pretty Cat and Linda gave the seasonings, which is, I had put in egg and wheat germ, and they said salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. Oh, 60 real quick, okay. I'm not anyone, I'm a real person, okay? Just letting you know, I'm a really real person. They do smell good. I'm not going to lie to you, they really do smell good, Linda and Pretty Cat. So you did well. KJ, good morning. Opal, good morning. Dino, yes. A little after 6. Well, it's 6:30 now. They do, don't they, Opal? By the way, that's one of my favorite stones is opal. Black, good morning. Opal, good morning. Elizabeth, good morning. Holy Ghost, good morning. I'm coming home. Hi. Yeah. We're just gonna let them cook. That's it. We're doing very well. The biscuits look good. At least the biscuit topping, I mean. Question, do any of you like grits? I know, Heather. That's what grade you're in. Joseph? Okay, KJ. Oh, God, everybody's coming in. Dan? Good morning, Chicago. That's it. I can't catch you guys. You're moving too fast. No, my sons are sleeping. Thank you, and good morning, Holy Ghost. Amanda, good morning. Dan, good morning. Melmet, good morning. Illinois, okay. Good morning, Sunville, Illinois. Thank you. I've spent a lot of time learning. Dan, good morning. Don't think I learned this overnight. My first job in the kitchen, I had to crawl up into the kitchen chairs. I told you how small it was. It was greasy. Cheval, good morning. My son's ages do not matter to you. 0. I had a rule in the home, my husband and I. If you want to stay here so you can have more money for yourself, you can, but you do pay rent. And I set the highest rent for them, and I said it'll never go any higher than that. And the money that they give me is for the food. I said the rest is yours, and I have a rule: you do not bring people over, sleepovers, or do anything you shouldn't be doing. Because I said, this is your sanctuary. Your home is your sanctuary, literally. You don't want people trampling in and out of your home. And that's how I was raised. Oh, you're Holy Ghost. Okay, Springfield, Illinois. Good morning. Opal. You're exactly 1 hour behind me, Opal. Good morning, Irma. Let me get my cup of coffee. have good flavors. You guys chose very well. Red and pretty cat. Good morning, Irma. Opal, Linda. Over. Mostly over. Yeah. You had to get permission. If I had a slumber party, that was one thing, but I was raised, your home is your sanctuary. You have people coming in and out of it. You get no rest. Yeah, because everybody works at different hours, so I have to set meals and pack them. Add water closet? I know what a water closet is. I had an aunt who had a water closet. And that's the old term for bathroom. They took a closet at the time when they started with plumbing. She only paid like $2 for her apartment, but she never got rid of it. I think it was 6 Batty Street was her address. They had 2 bedrooms, they had a sitting room. They did not have a living room. They had a sitting room and a kitchen, an eat-in kitchen. And when the plumbing came, and they were starting to have indoor plumbing, they sat there and they took one of the closets, which was very standard, and that became the bathroom. All it had in there was a toilet. No sink. You would come out and wash your hands at the sink of the kitchen. Okay, it was a deep sink that they used to have. Hi, cool Nick. Jay. Oh God. Today, I would like scrambled eggs. If you were going to do them, I would use a little bit of heavy cream with them, butter, salt, and pepper. And make sure that your heat is not high. You beat those eggs until they're thoroughly beaten yellow and you don't see any streaks of white in it. Heat it up on a low flame, the butter. When the butter melts, put your eggs in there and sprinkle some chives on top of them and scramble them very carefully, very slowly as they start to cook underneath. Pick it up so you can get more raw egg underneath there and turn it until you get them done. And they should be a beautiful yellow with specks of green. Okay, you getting this? Now that's how I like my eggs done this morning. You haven't gone. Laurie, you've got to get to bed. Paige, thank you. Thank you, Lee. Zero. Yeah. And I would definitely use wild boar bacon with them to serve next to it, or a steak. Get a steak to serve next to those eggs. That'd be delicious. And I think if you had some cottage cheese, I would put some fresh fruit on it. Well, if you canned fruit, you could use your canned fruit, but if you don't, I know you'll buy a cocktail and put over it. You don't need the syrup. You just want the fruit. And put it on top of the cottage cheese with coffee. If you have children, make sure they have milk. And that's the kind of breakfast I would like. I can eat rolls, toast, whatever that goes with it. I prefer a whole grain toast with just a little bit of butter. And that's the kind of breakfast I like to eat. But right now I'm on a diet to lose the 5 pounds that I put on, or I'm going to have to buy some more clothes. And I don't want to do that, so I got to be careful for the next week or two. see, when I know I put 5 pounds on because my skirts start getting tight. That's okay, it's time to diet. Oh, you're cooking your eggs. You have the heat too high. Turn the heat down. That's why you got your arm burnt, Joan. I will. Hi, DHR. Cool, crazy. That's the way you could have it too. If I'm going to eat breakfast, I want to eat breakfast. Sometimes I'll have a hot cereal, and then I'll have a poached egg or a soft-boiled egg with it. If I'm not real hungry, I just bypass breakfast. Because a lot of people eat and they're not hungry. That tells you still have food in your system to break down. It's when you get hungry you're supposed to eat. But listen, I enjoy those bourbon muffins. And the other ones that came was a guava. And I was just eating all the sourdough crescent rolls that I made. Oh my God, those were so good with herbs. And I was just packing food in, then I was eating all the fruit in the house. And I was finding myself hungry at the end of the day, so I was eating before I went to bed. I ended up with an upset stomach. I said, Sandy, you've got to stop this. So I put myself on a diet. Hi, Marcel, I think. Linda. What's S&P, Linda? I don't know what that is. Why? Cool. Purple. Yes, I do. Chipped beef over biscuits. Yes, I know. That's my favorite dish of all the dishes I make. I love chipped beef, not the pork. It's got to be chipped beef with eggs, a lot of pepper, some salt. You make a cream sauce. Then you make those buttered biscuits. You put that on. Give me a glass of milk, and I'm in heaven. And get away, because I'm going to eat until I make myself sick. I know that. I love that. I don't know what Pokemon cards are. I'd have to ask my sons. I have no idea what those things are. Oh no, I don't eat little bit of meat. This girl eats. I really, as skinny as I am, I have put a lot of weight on. Menopause did it too, but I like to eat, so I work hard so I can sit there and enjoy the food that I have. Because I know if I sit around, I'll be as big as a barn door. So I have to be very careful. Now I'm not S&P, yeah, salt and pepper. This isn't a little bit of meat. This is, like I told you, what's in this frying pan is over 250 grams of protein. So when you eat, and you get a lot of protein, you eat a good hearty breakfast, you probably will not be hungry at lunch. And you might end up going the whole day just about without eating. But they have you set up in your mind that you have to eat 3 meals a day. All right? So when you get retired and your life goes down, you still eat 3 meals a day, but your metabolic rate changes. And you have to be aware of that as you get older. It does slow down. And as it slows down, the weight comes on easier. I'm sorry to hear that, AJ. I hope, if nothing else, they went very quietly in their sleep. So I don't know what you're talking about, but you look like you're on the wrong channel. Hey, do you know who really did? Somebody's been marking the trolls for me, so who's ever doing it, thank you for removing their comments so I can actually deal with the people who want to learn and talk. So thank you for doing it, who's ever doing it. Thank you so much. I know you guys are still right in the middle of this. The only reason I'm cooking these more thoroughly is because I do have pork in them. Other than that, I wouldn't care. Let me explain death to you since I've already died. I already know. Okay? I'm going to give a simple explanation so you can understand what really happened, so it helps you to understand. Understanding is very. Okay, Linda. Good morning, Jeff. What it is, I'm going to use the example of taking a shower. Okay? You go into the bathroom, you close the door, you take your clothes off, and you step into the shower. Does it hurt to take your clothes off? No, it doesn't. That's exactly what happened. The body dies and you still get up. She is still very much alive. It's just that she doesn't have a body for you to see because you don't have second sight. You can't see her. This happened with my boyfriend because my husband had been dead so many years. I got a boyfriend. He had to come into the city to work, so he drove down. And he was gone 2 weeks. He worked for 15 days, and then he was off 15 days, but he worked like 15, 18 hours a day. And what happened was he came back, and his mother had come to see me. Now, she's standing right in front of me. I'm sitting at the chair, and I was doing some embroidery. And she was saying, tell my son to get home. So I called him. And I said, listen, you have to go back home. He said, Sandy, I just got here. I can't. I've got to be here. I said, he said, she's in a coma. I sat there 2 weeks waiting for her to die. She didn't die. And I said, your mother is standing right in front of me. And she is telling me, come home now. And he said, no, I've got to go to work, Sandy. I can't. I've got to make money. I can't afford to lose my job. And I told him, your mother is here. And he wasn't listening. He was arguing. And then she told me, point blank, you tell him, get his fucking ass home. And I said, oh, well, your mother said something. I don't. She's standing right here, and she told me this quote, and I gave him the quote. And she said, you're her favorite son, in spite of all that you have given her health through. And she wants you home. She will not leave this earth, and she will wander this earth unless you come home. She wants you there. And he said, Sandy, I got to go to work. I can't deal with you. 10 minutes later, he's at my back door, and he says, I just got to call my mother's dying. I got to go home, Sandy. And I said, good. I said, you drive safe and get home. He said, I will. I said, you better. So that's what's happening. She's here, but she's just died. The pain of what you're going through is you can't hug her. You can't see her, okay? But she is in really, really good hands on the other world, okay? Because when you die, remember, I've already done it. I've done it more than once. I'm pretty good at it. The body might stop, but the soul is very much alive. Okay? So I hope that helps you. I am 73, Jonelle. Elephant, what's cooking? We have meat patties, and we have that Greek pie, which is almost ready, I think. Smells good. Okay, let me get this out of the way. I don't have any room in this kitchen. So she's still very much alive. It's just that her body died, not her. And I hope that gives you comfort. She's there. She really is. If you see her in a dream, it's because she's coming to confirm that she's all right. That's why what we say on this world, the dead come to tell us. Okay? And when you first die, you have to go to this is pretty much how it happens after you pass, and you have the funeral and everything else while they leave, because they say bye to everybody, then they leave. Well, they really don't say goodbye, but that's the term we use. What they basically do is, I'll see you later. More like, see you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. You say, they see you later. And then they go with angels. And then they go over review over their life of what they've done or they haven't done. Where their good points are that they learned their lesson, and then their bad points and said, these are your bad points. You will have to go back at a certain time, and you'll have to confront. And then what they do is you get cleaned up. They clean you up from just everything that you've been through in the life. And then what happens is you have a rest period. Now, if you live a really long life, you don't come back right away. If you die at a very short, young life, you come back faster. By the way, you also come back to parents that help you or parents that you have karma with. You see? But they try to set you up in a circumstance so you can understand. And instead of holding grudges and stuff, you learn that, hey, I've done this to somebody, so I know how it feels now. I will be more careful. You see how it works? It smells delicious. Here it is. Here is the pie. And it's green on the inside, I can see. See, that's the pie right there. So, dinner is done, and I'm having my coffee. I died when I got my tonsils out, because I inhaled too much anesthesia because I was screaming and crying. At that time, we didn't have air conditioners. We had the windows open in a room, okay, and they put the thing over your face. I was a little girl. I was screaming. I did not want it. Another time, I gave birth and I hemorrhaged. And my body fell back, and I just turned to my husband and I said, I love you. I want you to know I love you. He brought me back. The other time that I died, they actually killed me on the OR table. I was in the hospital. I had doctors who did not know what they were doing. They were like students. This is where they put them in city hospitals, so you have to be very careful. But I was an emergency, so they put me to a city hospital. And they had me cut wide open at that point. And I saw them taking my baby, because I was pregnant. They took my baby and was carrying him over to an incubator. Almost 11-pound baby has to go in an incubator. He was born dead, and I was dead. So he's DOA, and mother was dead. And I stepped out of the body, and I looked, and I saw my belly wide open. I saw the clamps pulled wide open here. I saw my guts. I said, you know, it really does look like spaghetti in there. That's exactly what I thought, which was stupid, right? So I turned, and I got up, and I looked at them while they were working on my body. I said, I am going to go tell my husband what you bastards, and that's exactly what I said, bastards are doing to my body. And I marched out through the doors, and there were two huge angels. Listen, I'm not talking about 6-foot angels. I am talking about gigantic angels, okay? So don't think small when you think angels or little cute little babies. And they said, and that's how they told me, so I had to go back. And when I woke up, I had tubes coming out of my stomach, tubes in my mouth, tubes in my neck, tubes in my arm. And I was looking at the IVs. I couldn't see well. It seemed I lost a lot of blood, and I was still bleeding, and as fast as they were putting it in, it was coming out of me. And I tried to say something, and I couldn't. That was death. And then the next time I died, I went to another hospital. I got private doctors, and what took a 1-hour surgery took 12 hours to clean the mess up of what they had done. And I was before Christ. I was on my knees, and he sent me back. Okay? Hi, Keith. Sylvia. TJ, be nice. Mike. So I don't want to go any further than that. Those are all the times I have died. I assume the next time I go, if somebody brings me back, I'm going to punch him in the face. I want to go home. You know, but I know what's coming. I don't want to be around, you know. So that's what happens at death. And Christ sent me back, and he healed this body, because the body doctor, after I came from the last surgery, I asked him, could I have children? He said, with everything I found and in the shape you were, you can do whatever you want, Sandy. You've got God sitting on your shoulder. Oh, okay. I died before I got to the hospital. We were both dead. They rushed us in to the OR. I was dead. He was dead. That's why he was DOA. And I died. And when I left the body, I was already in the OR room. So they were moving fast. Joelle, no, I haven't. Thank you, honey. Tammy. Yeah, so that's what I went through. I went through a lot. Because I told my doctor I wanted 3 boys and 3 girls. I wanted 3 boys first and 3 girls after, so that they would be big brothers and they could defend their little girls. And I figured after 3, the clothes would wear out. You know how you do hand-me-downs with babies? I figured by the 3rd one, the clothes would be over, so then I could start buying little girls' clothes, and they would go through that. Yeah, my younger son lived, but I did do a natural abortion on my baby girl at 7 months. Joel, because my husband had said he was going to kill everybody in that hospital and he was going to blow the hospital up, so that would have been a lot of death that would have happened. And government trained him, and I heard my sons crying, and Christ weighed everything out. And when I came back, I was on the road of recovery. When I finally came home, I couldn't even pick up 1 pound. That's how weak I was. And I had blood all over my hair because I was bleeding all over the place. They couldn't stop the bleeding for a long time. And I was just sitting in my own blood. So my husband cut my hair. I mean, he really whacked it. I was very upset about that. But he couldn't get the blood out because nobody cleaned the blood out of my hair. So when I came home, I was packed from my back all the way around there. Literally, I was packed, covered. And I had bandages here. I had a Band-Aid on my neck. Uh, and it took me a long time once that was the first surgery where they messed me up. When I had to go back to the hospital for the last time, I came home and he asked if I have children. I said, yes, I had a little 2-year-old. And my doctor, I did not know this was going to happen. Because, doctors don't pack a lot of packing, but they put enough that they have to, right? He put enough that I looked like I was out to here. And he taped me from my spine straight around. I said, okay. I barely got through the door and went to greet my little one. He punched me in the belly. That's why the doctor sat there and wanted to know, did I have small children? Because he knew they were going to attack because he was hurt because I left him. Well, I didn't leave him. They took me out on the stretcher. I was dead. I didn't have much of a choice, So I had 3. I lost the little girl. Yeah, it's a miscarriage. That's what they call it, to give different wording, but it is. I was painting a door. I was learning to paint. My husband was shocked. He said, don't you paint? You should know. I said, no, I don't paint. I don't paint my nails. I don't know how to paint. I had more paint on me, and all of a sudden I got severe cramps. I was so sick. He said, fine, I'll do it myself. He was angry with me. Man, I curled over. I had never had that much pain. I went into the fetal position. I said, this really, really hurts. And I said, Tony, please help me. And he said, you're fine, Sandy. Well, I went to the bathroom because I got an urge to push, and I pushed, and out came the baby into the toilet. And I called my husband and I said, Tony, I told you I was pregnant. It's right there. And his mouth dropped. That's why he told me about 6 months before he passed, he said, Sandy, I studied medicine. I know everything about pregnancy. I know I was trained, Sandy. I know all the do's, the don'ts, and everything that's going to happen. You did not follow one rule except conceiving. And I laughed. I said, I never seem to do things normal. It depends upon how long you live. If you're young and you die as a baby, you come back instantaneously. If you are like a teenager, you have a shorter span on the other side and you have to come back. If you live a long life, you have a longer span. But the longest you can stay away from being reborn is 100 years. After that, you have to come back because you do have lessons and things you have to learn. That's why some souls come in and they have an urgency to get a lot of things done. That's because they know they have a lot they have to do in a short time of span, No, you can't say it's your last reincarnation. Only God can decide that. From what I can gather, from what I've read, the souls that finish up their karma, good, bad, and I like karma, or the law of grace. It's really called the law of karma, the law of grace. Once you balance it and you get through all your karma, you have a choice to stay in heaven, or you can come back to help your brothers. The problem is what I'm going to say, when we get up there and we've done everything we have to, we look at our brothers and sisters failing or having trouble, and we come back to help them again. And in the process of helping them, we end up with more karma and we have to work back through. And what makes it difficult for us as it is, we have demons roaming this earth in the spiritual world. They can whisper. I've seen them possess a person. I actually saw them take over this person. And I told my husband, so they have a way, if you invite them in, that's how they can come in. Other than they can't, some drugs weaken you to where they can come into you and you do things you shouldn't do. Or they'll whisper, aren't you angry with the person? You get these thoughts and you think they're yours, and it's actually them whispering in your ear. And so right now they roam the earth giving all these problems, and we have to overcome them. Yeah, it is, you know, but it seems every soul that is is at the last time coming. They'll come up there and they'll see their brothers and sisters struggling, and they're going to come back. They always do. We always do, because we want to help, you know? It's always up to God. Yeah. That's why I told my mother for a long time. She'd try to put me in red, and I would scream. She could not put a red ribbon, a red streak, red on this body. I would hit the roof. I never knew why, but it was something I couldn't deal with the color red. But after I went through that, I would pick red. I even have a red mock turtleneck on now. You wouldn't have seen me in red before. And I can wear red lipstick. I can sit there and wear reds, which is really funny. But before that time, you could not put red on my body. Even my husband said, "Look what I got, a beautiful red sweater." I said, "I won't wear that." And he said, "Why?" "Because I'll bleed to death." He couldn't understand. Sandy, it's only a sweater. I said, "No, I can't wear that color. I'll bleed to death." But after I had gone through that, I could wear red. It didn't bother me anymore. So sometimes our fears are because of something that's getting ready to happen. Some people do. If you're gifted, I call them gifts from God. Yes, you do. You do know what you're here for. Okay? So I can't say we don't. Some people do know. That's because they have second sight. I call it gifts. I don't call it second sight. I've already seen so far into my next life and what the earth will look like when I come back. Hi, Anthony. So that's pretty much it. But the pie looks like the crust worked. Yep, and the steaks. We're done. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I've seen a lot. I was blessed enough to see what was coming, and I understood it. Now, ladies, men are pretty good about this. They're not vain about, maybe they are, but I don't know men who are vain about their gray hair. Now for you ladies to understand gray. When you color your hair, when you start having gray, you're going to notice your wrinkles stand out more. The gray hair that you get on your head softens your face to where the wrinkles don't show. So if you're coloring your hair and you're seeing you're looking older and you're putting more makeup on and this and you're trying to stay young, understand your gray hair softens the wrinkles on your face. If you watch men and you watch the men of the 50s movies and stuff, they age gracefully with their gray hair. But when they start coloring it, they look funny, they look old. So that's why you gray is actually to soften your face as you age. Joan, that's not for you to know. No, you cannot ask. Mr. Jackson, what question? thing I love the most, it's going to sound stupid, but that God loves me. Isn't that funny? But that's what I can say. What I love about myself is I stand in his love and I love him back. So I say, God, that he loves me. So listen, I'm gonna let all of you go now. I've got a sink full of dishes again. Okay. So Jay, good morning, and listen, take care. Mehmet, wait a minute. Yes, but the thing is, Irma, is people don't seem to love him back. And I can tell you how great his love is. And men, you will learn this as well. I'm going to get a toothpick. When you climax, you see that point there? That's how much love you have. Okay? Now, that's measured to God's love. When you stand in God's love, my whole house is love. It's so intense. His love, when you feel it, the tears come down your face. You stand in the purest of love, asking nothing of you. It just loves you for you. So that little bit of climax you have when you have sex is like when you feel all that, you think that's a lot of love. That's only the tip of a toothpick compared to God's love that could fill is this whole house or this whole room, to give you an idea. So when you hold this toothpick and you think you've experienced love, it's only that compared to a whole room. And I've stood in that love, and all what I do is cry. Because you feel it and you know that he loves you. And he has no anger, no stipulations, no nothing. He just lets you know how great his love is, and it's very great. Okay, so listen, God bless all of you. I want you to have a wonderful day, and for those on the other, well, wherever you're at, be it a good day or good night or good morning or good evening, whatever it is, I wish you the very best. I will see you. Now, tomorrow's Friday. I don't know about Friday. Definitely Saturday. So, because I have to go shopping. Okay? So listen, take care. And God bless all of you. Yeah, we're done. Okay.